Hi, I'm Shane Mlach, and as promised yesterday, I'm going to have a quick rant about something that was brought to my attention, which is, well, by the looks of it, it's a new Guru product launch by Mr. Ryan Deiss. And, well, here we go. There are some things that are very wrong with what's going on here, and there's also a mislabeling or a misunderstanding happening here. So either Mr. Deiss is mislabeling something on purpose, or he is misunderstanding how this thing works. Now, the opening to this thing is that blogging, it's the end of blogging. Blogging doesn't work. Everything you've learned about blogging is completely wrong. And I just want to quickly remind you that this is what Ryan Deiss always does. Always, maybe not, but that's kind of his thing. He goes, something is over, something is dead, be afraid. And then here's the solution, buy my thing. So this time it's blogging. Alright, so then he talks about how he had a nice, cleanly designed blog and nobody was paying attention to it and it didn't work. And the first thing you need to do is you need to clutter up your design. And you need to put all this content in multiple sidebars and so on all over your page, and that'll be much better. Now, that's one of the things. He then also talks about how you shouldn't be blogging and the world doesn't need more information. You shouldn't be producing original content and trying to get people to pay attention to that. Instead, you should be getting other people to contribute content to your site, or kind of gathering and curating stories from around the place. You should be like Oprah. She's not the expert, but she invites experts and talks about experts. So that's what you should do on your site. Now, before we move on, the most important question we must ask ourselves is, are we going to believe that Mr. Ryan Deiss knows more about blogging than, let's say, someone like Neil Patel of Kissmetrics and Crazy Egg and Quicksprout? Does he know more about blogging than, let's say, Derek Halpern of Social Triggers? Does he know more about blogging than, let's say, Ramit Sethi, I'm not sure, from I Will Teach You to Be Rich? Does he understand more about this topic than these and many, many other bloggers who have been doing this for a very long time and who are true experts at content marketing? And should we pay him, whatever it's going to be, probably $2,000 or more, for the privilege of listening to him talk about this topic? That's one of the biggest issues here. Right? Ryan Deiss changes his hats all the time whenever he sells a new product, and he doesn't have a track record as an experienced blogger at all. But that's the other thing. You see, he's not actually talking about blogs, and that's the mislabeling I was talking about. He's talking about magazine sites. He's talking about magazine sites like Mashable and Engadget and Huffington Post and so on. And these are magazine sites. A magazine site is usually the kind of site where you have all this cluttered content on the homepage. You have, dozens of stories on the homepage, usually with a headline, small picture, opening paragraph, and you can click through to read them, like a newspaper or a magazine, right? A magazine site is usually a site run with a large editorial staff, and it's usually a site that reports. It's a site that's about something. It reports on a topic like politics or news in new gadgets and technology and so on. So it's reporting about something that's happening outside in the world, and it's usually supported by advertising. This is the magazine website business model. It's completely and utterly different from blogging. So the whole assumption that you've been doing blogging wrong, this is the new way to do blogging, is completely ridiculous. These are two completely different business models, and Ryan Deiss didn't invent either of them. So here's the thing, a blog, one thing I agree with is that if you think I want to start an online business, I'm going to start a blog, I wouldn't encourage you to do that. That's a bad idea. And it's a bad idea because that's probably one of the most difficult things to do in terms of building a business based on a blog. It's not impossible, but it's super difficult. A blog should be something that you do as part of how you engage with the community that comes with your product, or as part of how you do content marketing for your product. Blog has a very specific purpose like that, and that's why you won't see someone like Neil Patel go, oh, I'm not going to produce original content anymore. I'm just going to have a magazine style site and link to other people and get other experts and stuff like that. That's not how it's going to happen. And that's one of the reasons, right? These are two completely different things. And Ryan Deiss is, I guess, not really mentioning that because he wants it to appear like he came up with this concept himself or something like that. Two things, okay? Two things are important. Number one, I can promise you that building a magazine style site is a business model like any other, and it's going to be super difficult to make it to work, to get it to work. Just like blogging, and just like becoming, a best-selling author, just like building a product and selling it. These are difficult things, right? These are difficult things. Anyone who tells you, oh, this is easy, this is a new, easier way of doing blogging, is lying to you. It's not how it works. And the other thing is, maybe we'll all be surprised and this product that ends up being sold here is going to be reasonably priced, but probably not, right? And should we give someone thousands of dollars, should we give someone who's deceiving us right off the bat, or doesn't know the difference between these two different business models, should we be giving them thousands of dollars? Probably not. End rant.